How do you debrief a tween? I'm Justin.
On second thought, the big leg is not so bad. I'm Sam.
Well, there wasn't even a good one-liner. I'm Jackie, and this is Secret Agent Club on Stinker Madness.
Hello, welcome to Stinker Madness, a podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers by bad movie lovers. I'm your host, Justin, with me are always Sam and Jackie. This week on the podcast, currently streaming on Toupee TV, is a Hulk Hogan movie from 90-something? I didn't even look. 96. Okay, starring Richard Mole, Barry Bostwick, Ferris Bueller's dad.
Yep.
Somebody else. Oh, the old guy from Twin Peaks that's married to...
Jack Nance.
Yeah, Jack Nance. Secret Agent Club. Sam, go ahead.
In 1996, we will remember that Stratton Oakmont became under federal scrutiny.
I will not remember that.
By the end of December, Stratton Oakmont was shut down by the government in 1996.
Nothing. Got nothing there.
Why would I be talking about Stratton Oakmont? Jordan Belfort's
Yeah, I'm totally...
company? Jordan
totally...
Belfort.
Jordan.
Do you know who Jordan Belfort is?
Belfort.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I do.
Oh.
Yes. So in 1996, when he knew that they were onto him, he had to dump his money into a bunch of places. In the movie, they show him just sort of shipping wads of cash out of the country so that he can just get to it later. But a really good place to hide money, especially if you don't need it immediately and you want it to trickle liquid assets on a long-term return, is one place called Hollywood. And in 1996, Jordan Belfort produced 8 films.
Okay. All right.
This is one of them.
I was going to say another good place to hide money is in Terry Hogan's mattress, because that also will have a slow trickle of returns.
No, it'll have a slow trickle of him getting pissed drunk and Hasselhoffing all over the place.
That's
a terrible place.
I didn't define what returns were, but a slow trickle of returns will eventually seep out of that mattress. May not be money.
And the money's going to be heavily soiled.
Yes.
Even if he has a good night and he just sweats so much. Even in this movie, he's just sweating. Terry's 69.
Yeah, he's an old guy.
Yeah. He still shows up at WWE anymore. I hope they don't fucking make him wrestle like they did with Flair. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure at this point, Triple H and Stephanie are pretty much calling all the shots, so that shouldn't happen anymore. But I don't know. There's just weird things. Did you see that they're going to merge with the MMA?
I saw something about it.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Exactly. Like,
it doesn't,
real fighting versus choreographed bullshit.
It's a stunt show.
You're not supposed to get hurt.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, those guys get hurt. They get hurt bad. They're all addicted to painkillers. It's terrible. Anyway. It's kind of incredible that he did this, though. Because if you did 5 to 10 direct-to-shelf, these are all going to be direct-to-video shelf movies, you're going to basically be set for life if you can, not spend it all at once, right?
Sure.
This was too expensive for the shelf. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's some
I
money
know
spent.
that at one point, Tia Turner told me, if you want to turn a car over, that's $1 million, especially in the 90s, right? That's going to be $1 million in the 90s. And in the car chase scene where they turned the car over, they blew it up, and they had at least 3 professional drivers. So that was a $3 million sequence.
And on a public street. So you got to get permits for that, too.
This is all permitted shit. Like, your safe play on the shelf, if you know you've got the space, is $5 million because you're going to make it back immediately, and then your returns start pouring in. This is a longer con. He's spending too much money on these movies on purpose. Also, if you wanted to try to really go down a rabbit hole that there's no end, try to trace the financials of a Hollywood movie. Yeah. You will never find any solid answers there.
Right.
So, yes, I'm making more accusations than I am going to be able to provide solid fact, but I can tell you that this cost way too much for the video shelf in 1996. And the circumstances surrounding how it was made and why it was made is that it's somebody's hiding money in this movie and in several other movies. The other movies are Firestorm with John Savage, Bentley Mitchum.
Isn't that the Howie
Robert
Long movie?
Carradine. Firestorm, not the one you're thinking of.
Okay, different Firestorm. I didn't realize there was two.
Yeah, and Joseph Culp. There's going to be some regular repeat offenders in this little ring of hiding said monies. This movie was the second produced. Then Blood Money with James Brolin, Tracy Lords, Billy Drago, Mark Ruffalo, and again, Bentley Mitchum.
Bentley Mitchum.
Then Assault on Dome 4 with Joseph Culp again, Bruce Campbell, Brian James, Jack Nance, and James Liu. Santa with Muscles, which has a fucking cast list that I'm not even going to go through. We've already done it for the podcast. Go back and listen to that episode if you need to. Or just do it for fun. Prey of the Jaguar with Stacy Keach, Linda Blair, Trevor Goddard, Paul Bartel. The Elevator with Martin Landau, Martin Sheen. Richard Mole, Richard Lewis, Bokeem Woodbine, and Paul Bartrell. And then Skeletons, which was sold directly to TV, which means that there was another sort of con on this. And this one didn't really get... It was made this year, but it didn't get released until 97 because it went direct to TV. So maybe he was going to try to open up lanes before he got put in the courtroom. Because I don't think he makes it into jail until 99. But this whole slew of movies happened like all at once. And that has Ron Silver, Christopher Plummer, James Coburn, Buck Flower, and Paul Bartrell. It's interesting because he was going for a triple threat on anything that wasn't Hogan. Because at this point, Hulk Hogan on his own demands that shelf space still, right? In 96.
Sure. Yeah.
When was Thunder in Paradise? That was right around here.
98, I want to say.
Yeah. So he's still, you just put Hulk Hogan on there, you have the shelf space, you might have a theater spot, but he's not going for a theater spot. I'm accusing, again, accusations, because I think he wants a longer return. I think he wants the money to be hidden. Plus, when you do this sort of thing, who's to say that he wasn't just completely bankrolling these whole things so that it's just laundering the money into an account that he can get to later?
All right, Sam.
I found that super interesting.
IRS
that is really interesting.
Auditing aficionado. I had no idea you were so into bank fraud and racketeering.
But if you did this with money, it would be clean on the other end, and it would still be yours, and there wouldn't be any way to find it, right?
Yeah. What are you gonna repossess? The government? My shitty movie? You don't want that.
Did you know that when he got out, he said he made a counter offer to the U.S. government that for restitution, they could have 100% of the profits to the book Wolf of Wall Street, and they turned that offer down.
No, we want the rights to Santa with muscles. That's the cash cow.
No, they've screwed around so much that he's pretty much not given any of the money back, and he's making a bunch of money again. It doesn't. Those jokers in Washington. Oh, man, don't get me started.
Oh, boy. All right.
But it's odd that, you'd go with a double threat for the shelf space, right? In all of these other movies, he's got a triple threat on the poster, so he was really making sure that they made it onto the shelf kind of a thing. So I thought that was super interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. Jackie, you picked this movie. What was your thought train behind it?
I wanted to do a Hulk Hogan movie, so I looked up Hulk Hogan movies, and then I scrolled through the list, and I based my pick off the cover.
Okay, all right. Well, surprise. This movie is a surprise, and I was not looking forward to it. So, one of the few times that methodology worked out for you. I didn't realize you were such a Hulk Hogan fan all of a sudden.
I don't know. It just struck me that day, and I was like, dude, I'm going to look for a Hulk Hogan movie. I got to get something over to Sam, because I know he's going to chew my ass if I don't get it over to him by, at least Thursday. And I think I was good this week. I think I actually got it to him by Tuesday or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my debit card got stolen.
Oh, okay.
And I had to lock it and cancel my debit card. And so when I did that, T-Mobile was able to immediately identify that they didn't have a source of a way to just get my money whenever they wanted it. And they just fucking shut my phone off. So I have and I didn't even know it. And so I have a whole day and a half of lost communiques. So that's probably when that happened. And I never knew what the movie was until I texted you again last night.
Nice.
And I'm now just have a laundry list of just hate for T-Mobile since I got, because I was on Sprint and I never had any problems with them. People always talk shit about it. And I was like, but I don't have any of these problems that you guys are bitching about. And T-Mobile buys them. And it's just they're just cramming me and just jamming me. Just jamming me at every goddamn corner.
Who stole your debit card, Sam?
Probably T-Mobile.
T-Mobile. It was them. They did that. They broke into your house, took your debit card, and were like, "Ha ha! ha, try to pay the bill now, fucker."
Yeah, it just shut it off immediately. Oh, come on! I'm thinking I got 3 or 4 days. I'm gonna get it figured out and just put it on my credit card. But still, that's a bullshit. And it was after they made it so impossible to pay the bill that I finally conceded defeat and just let them have the auto pay. And then by doing so, they shut my phone off the second. It was just motherfuckers. Anyway, the children actors in this film are Matthew McCurley, Maurice Woods, Danny McHugh, Ashley Power, and Jimmy Pham. All of them would go on to do pretty much nothing.
Yeah. I thought the lead was JTT at first, and I was glad to see it wasn't.
No, I guess he was it says that he's in 8 movies, but you can't find him he's buried in there. So
yeah.
You've mentioned, Ferris Bueller's dad as the general. That's Lyman Ward.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't mention Leslie Ann Down.
Leslie Ann Down, whose I don't even know if she had a character name. I just have her in my notes as Evil
Eve.
Lady. Eve. Okay, well.
Eve.
Evil lady.
Yeah, lady.
Okay.
Yeah, she's pretty much Elizabeth Hurley. Elizabeth Hurley is Leslie Ann Down Part 2.
Okay, interesting. Why would you
she
say
was in
such
the
a thing?
first Great Train Robbery because she's a big deal. She was in fucking Dallas the tail end of her career was hot, right?
Yeah, she just seems like a day player to me.
No, she was Hollywood and United Artists during the 70s.
Okay.
And basically she's Elizabeth Hurley before Elizabeth Hurley, so they look even the same. Elizabeth Hurley's career is not a fucking super explosion. She's really pretty.
She's really comparing them visually. I don't know, man.
Okay,
I don't know
go
about
look
that.
at some pictures of Leslie Ann Down in her 20s and tell me I'm wrong.
No, I think I'll just look at pictures of Elizabeth Hurley
right now when she's 60 or whatever, and she's still hot as shit.
What I always want to do.
I don't get how female actresses like Jennifer Aniston and Elizabeth Hurley, they're 50, 60 years. I know that Jennifer Aniston is at least in her 40s somewhere.
Oh, she's older.
She's
50s, yeah.
And they look like they're 20 or
No.
30 years old.
Jennifer Aniston, not so much. I'm going to put Elizabeth Hurley and Selma Hayek on kind of a different level. I feel like, especially with the Botox, there's things going on with Jennifer Aniston's face that I'm not really enjoying.
I hate to remind all of you the tragedy that is Meg Ryan. I saw her doing something the other day, and one of the worst things that's ever happened in the history of the planet. I mean, sorry, Holocaust survivors.
I don't get how they look so young. I mean, their entire bodies look young too.
Clean living and healthy eating.
And good skincare.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's what Selma Hayek and Elizabeth Hurley are basically not going out and getting sunburnt all the goddamn time, and they're using oil of Olay or some shit like that. Whatever it is, but it's skincare. And Leslie Ann Down's 70 and she still looks fucking great, so.
I don't know,
I'm
Jackie.
looking at myself right now in the podcast Zoom call thing, and I look like hammered shit.
You did drink a bunch last night, which is probably, they're all not drinking. And you also did just wake up from a nap, and they never just wake up from naps. That's top tip. You want to look good? Don't just wake up from a nap. You always look terrible.
Yeah.
I've also got old makeup on from last night because I drank too much when I got home. We went and saw Steve Martin and Martin Short last night at the fabulous Fox Theater. It was amazing.
Yeah, we could talk about that for 2 hours, but that's not why we're here, Jackie.
Well, you know who does exercise this sort of lifestyle that we do, and you can see her aging poorly, is the Britney Spears.
Yeah, she doesn't not. Things are going poorly there. But leave Britney alone, Sam. Leave her alone.
I'm not saying anything. I mean, she can come over and we can have a barbecue or whatever. She'll probably be a good time because it looks like she knows how to party, right?
Come on over. Come on over is actually a Christina Aguilera song. So you screwed that one up.
That's another one that's not looking great.
She's doing better. I mean, weight-wise, maybe. I don't really mind. I kind of like the thick Aguilera myself.
She's thick?
She's still getting it going with her face.
Huh. I thought she was beanpole. But anyways, we should stop spending our entire afternoon judging women objectively. And admire them for their special skills, like Jackie's ability to say weird nonsense that Sam and I have no ability to respond to on a podcast. Good job on being a poor communicator, Jackie.
Thank you. I also want to mention, since we're on the random Jackie rants, I found a Richard Chamberlain record this weekend at a thrift store.
How was it?
And I listened to it, and that man can sing. I mean, I just love him so much more now.
What was he doing? Crooning or country?
Crooning.
Okay. All right. Richard Chamberlain.
Why not?
And they were all like songs of somebody else's, right? It wasn't an original album or anything, but
Macho Man, YMCA, It's Raining Men, Hallelujah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Before we move on, I should mention that the guy that plays, there's two actors I want to talk about real quick. The Max Simpson character is Edward Albert II, because his dad is Eddie Albert from Green Acres.
Oh, well, great.
And what's odd about him is that he kicked around and did shit like this. He's got 132 credits.
Sounds like Hollywood.
That's the real
real Max Simpson, not Barry Bostwick, because the other one is fucking Barry Bostwick.
It sounds
Do you know what's going on with that big scar on his face?
It's fake.
Yeah, it's called makeup.
Yeah.
And you guys
the
just keep
magic
railroading,
of movies, Jackie.
Railroading me here. It's getting farther and farther away from this Green Acres thing. So once again, whose dad was he, Sam?
Green Acres, Eddie Albert, the main husband in Green Acres, is his dad.
How many movies was he in?
132 credits, but a lot of it's TV. Edward Albert II was in an episode of everything.
Well, it sounds like Hollywood is the place to be.
Especially if you're hiding money.
Oh my God, you brought us all the way back around just so that you could say that joke.
I do want to remind you guys that we are supposed to be making jokes this whole time. I know. Instead of just walking right past them.
And MC Gainey only got to be in this for like 1 second. He's the dirty, ugly bat dad that Hogan catches the ball. Mm-hmm. Normally, on a movie that ends up on this shelf, MC Gainey's getting one of the main character parts, right? And he only gets a goddamn cameo in this.
MC Gainey did my birthday party.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he was the DJ.
You're such a fucking liar.
MC Gainey! Spinning discs. Who the fuck is MC Gainey?
He's the naked guy that chases down the car in Sideways.
Okay, there you go. All right,
his career will culminate into that one scene. Oh, it's Dong Guy, MC Gainey.
Oh, no wonder the kids were having such a weird reaction to his DJing at my birthday party. He wasn't wearing pants.
That's all I got.
Okay, about time. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's get into this. We're already 20 minutes in. God, this movie is just freaking all over the place. But anyways, it starts out with a ferret. I mean, okay.
No, it doesn't. It does not. It starts out with a long, the Rambo equipment series with the laser synthesizer music, but half of them are toy guns.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Okay, so we're at an evil lab. This is where Eve is the CEO of Evil Corp, and she's got a lab where she's invited all of the bad guys from around the world. I think I saw Gaddafi there. I think I saw Pol Pot. Those type of guys. And she's like, hey.
Oh, Russia was definitely there.
Oh, yeah. Well, Gorby
and
wasn't,
China.
but one of his underlings. Yeah. Mao Zedong was too busy that weekend, so he sent somebody else. So she's got a bunch of good bad guys there. It's the American Ninja One plot. And she's like, look what Evil Corp made this weekend. Last week it was the chattering teeth that you wind up and distract the bad guys or your enemies with. This time we've got something a little bit more special. It's a laser gun.
Yeah.
And 4 people immediately walk out when she says laser gun.
Yep. She's like, no, I promise this will impress more than the Badger cannon.
God, not another one of these fucking laser gun demos. Oh my God. Every week with these fucking manufacturers in the 80s and 90s. That's all I do is go to laser gun demos. They don't work.
And beyond that, she's like, also, the creator of this laser was killed immediately and the plans were burnt, so this is the only one.
So
We
if
at
it
Evil
breaks,
Corp.
you are fucked.
Right? Don't lose it. This is the only one. Is there an instruction manual? Nope, those got burned up too. Because I don't know how to work it.
And then she's like, I'll set the bidding at 10 billion. And then everybody
10
else
billion.
walks out.
Yeah, okay. Fucking Jesus.
Yeah.
These people.
And then there's the Sheik guy and the Russian guy who are late, and they're like, get out of the way, I've got to get in there. Like, this is the one. Last week was a fluke, but this is going to be the one that impresses, and I gotta get in there on time.
No, the Sheik is like, oh, cool, a fucking laser gun. Whoopity got it. We see those all the damn time, lady. And she's like, oh, yeah, well, watch this. And she blows up a mannequin. And he's like, oh, great. Whoopity fucking do again.
Yep.
Still not impressed. Okay, well, how about I shoot one of my staff? The guy that brings the cookies. I will shoot him. No, well, how about the guy that brings those little ham rolls? Nobody likes those ham rolls, right? So
I like the
blast
ham
him.
rolls.
Ah, shit, we got a ham roll lover here.
I was a fan of the Badger cannon.
So who are we supposed to shoot? Gary. Yeah, it's Gary. So they shoot one of the staff guys, and he blows up, but also appears to turn into glass at the same time.
It's
I'm not
very
real clear on the
Max Head,
effect.
or very Lawnmower Man. Yeah. It's bizarre. There's a bunch of... while this is all happening, though, the Hulkster has gloves that are what I call electric fence-proof gloves, but it turns out that they're electric transfer gloves, so he sucks up all the electric fence juice, hops over it, and then zaps a guy with the electric fence juice and steals his clothes.
I'm pretty sure that's how the Shocker was rumbling in Spider-Man. Like, he caused little mini earthquakes. He'd shake you. His name didn't fit what he did, but he had gloves that store up energy.
He could do a kinetic to electric transfer, right?
Yeah, it was kinetic, not electric.
Something like that.
So similar.
Either
Those gloves
way,
are pretty
the guy
sweet.
he's stealing the clothes from is like half of his size.
Right?
Yeah.
And then he comes out and it fits him perfectly. And I'm like, I don't think that's how that worked.
Terry,
I
careful
think
with
he
your
ripped
shoulders.
The seams.
Well,
And you're like,
that's what the Hulk does.
Russian.
He rips
it's
shirts.
gotta be
Jackie.
hard for him to find clothes. I feel like Guess Jeans only makes pants for him and Dee Snider. That's why they
Right.
don't fit anybody else. As long as you're 6'8", you're gonna love these jeans.
So, the Sheik is still like, okay, well, you killed Gary. Finally, thank God. But I'm still not impressed. My gun, an actual gun can kill a guy. And you just, we're in America. They sell those on the street corners. There's a guy with a jacket. He opens it up. He's got watches on one side. He's got guns on the other. I can just get gun. And she's like, oh, yeah, well, watch this. And she goes up and she to the window and then explodes his helicopter. And he's like, okay, all right. Interesting.
Anti-material.
Bazooka does that too.
Yeah, that's the thing is for $10K you can get a Soviet air to ground right now. At this time.
You know, it's still $10 billion for a laser gun. Yeah, you're right.
This is the first. The helicopter blowing up is the first of many allusions to Charlie Wilson's war for whatever reason.
That's an odd comparison.
The kids get the same award that Charlie Wilson gets at the end. That's the only two.
Yeah. Okay.
One is that if you're doing math, all of a sudden you're like, Charlie Wilson's doing better with the Soviet air to grounds than that laser right now.
But, I mean, it works. So, you know what? I'll give you $25,000 for it.
No, wait, don't bid yet. I know you guys come for the dinner, so let's go eat before everybody decides not to bid on my laser gun for $10 billion.
That fucking guy over there came for little fucking ham rolls that nobody likes.
I filled up on the ham rolls.
Jesus Christ, man. I see you.
He's also a fan
convention
of the beaver gun that we have.
Yeah, but the beaver gun and the ham rolls.
The Badger cannon.
Yeah, I mean
the beaver gun. That's what I call my wiener.
Yeah, we know.
I know.
You ladies ready for the beaver gun? No? All right, I'll see myself out.
All right, so Hogan, they all go to dinner. Hogan comes in, dressed up in that guy's clothes. We find Rex as well. Rex is guarding the gun. Rex is Richard Mole's character. He's a pretty Jaws-y-like guy. But he's guarding the gun, and Hogan just punches him in the face 3 times, and he goes down.
He has the most limiting handicap for slight offense in his metal leg.
It's not like a cool metal leg. It's just a metal boot that is a leg.
Yeah. He's just got a heavy leg.
I think he was playing around with laser gun.
Okay.
And accidentally shot that part of his leg off. And she's like, don't worry about it. We'll get you a boot.
That doesn't work, Jackie, because if he got shot by laser gun, he would explode into glass shards or something. It was the Badger cannon that got him.
Unclear, as later Bostwick will meet his end by the gun, and it is different. No spoilers yet.
She wouldn't let him play with that laser gun, though. That was the Badger cannon. He shot himself with the Badger cannon, blew his leg off.
Yeah, the Badgers took his leg.
Yeah, he made the mistake of sticking, they had him all corralled in like a little, like they do with cattle, right? And he stuck his foot in there to try to grab one for the Badger cannon, and they all attacked him and ate his leg.
Yes, badgers, much like the piranhas.
They are. They're like furry, smelly land piranhas that are larger and more menacing.
Latch on, they nibble, they tear your leg off in a matter of seconds.
Yep. And you're like, I've come to take them all with my Badger cannon. And the police are like, I'm sorry, we have a SWAT team of dachshund hounds. You're screwed. Foiled again by the wiener dog.
So Hogan's got clear access to the gun, except for a laser grid that surrounds it, which I think he can see by holding a glass of wine up to it.
He's got decoder wine.
Decoder wine. That he drinks. It's not like a prop, like, oh, this is this special liquid that, a mixture of chemicals that can spot lasers. No, it's just fucking wine. It's decoder wine.
It's decoder wine, and then when he pulls the laser gun out of it, he just pulls it right through the lasers, and the alarm doesn't go off. And so you're like, I guess that's fine, whatever.
It's fucking Mickey from the Monkeys diving through the laser grid, grabbing the painting, and then just turning him around and walking through them all. All right, so he's got the gun. He sneaks out, goes over the wall by using the guards' turbans. I guess they're turbans. I'm not sure what else to call them. Head wraps.
So he grabs one and he's like, oh, I got an idea. And then you see that he's had to kill 15 men to escape.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, for their turban.
And
so you know that the cheese guy got it at some point, which kind of upsets me.
Yeah.
As a supervillain that comes to these things.
Yeah. It was just Havarti, fuck him.
So he gets down on the ground and he's still dressed up in those clothes, and the evil lady Eve sees him, and she has some sort of familiarity with the guy that I don't know. She maybe she just has a hard on for Russians, because she's like she's speaking Ruski at him, and he's like like trying to fake his way through it, and then she appears to be like, I'm going to feel your penis in your clothes. Wait a minute, you got a laser gun.
Yeah, hey, wait.
I think what happened here is that they've been emailing back and forth.
Okay.
You know, this is the 90s, so there's no like
AOL
he
chat.
Didn't want to so he didn't want to send her a picture because he's this fat, you know, aged balding guy, and he's like, when I go to this evil convention, that's when I'll put the moves out and the vibe, right? And so she's like, man, we've been chatting for months while this laser gun is getting built. I really hope that he meets my expectations. He said some pretty juicy stuff. I'm ready to go.
I like your spiky wig. That's doing it for me. So she spots him. She yells for the guards. He's got to go. And he shoots a perfect Terry-size hole through the fence that he snuck past before, and dives through it with the laser gun, mind you. It's very odd skills that this...
It now has rapid fire.
Yeah, for cutting. And Rex grabs a sniper rifle of some sort and tries to shoot at him. It's got explosion rounds, but he can't hit him.
And they're like, but wait, that gun over there has anti-material rounds, and it costs $700.
Yep. Yeah, but Rex can't hit shit with it.
It's because his leg's too heavy.
Right, he's leaning.
Yeah.
I wonder if his penis does that too because of the leg. Like, it just kind of leans towards that leg.
That's all you think about.
Because it's got magnets.
Maybe he has a piercing on his ding-dong, and that boot does have some magnetic powers, right? Like, he uses it to find random nails in the yard and stuff, and so it pulls his penis that way. So now his penis is crooked.
He goes into the tattoo parlor, and he's like, I'd like a Prince Albert. And they're like, sure, no problem. And he's like, I want it magnetic. And the guy's like, hold on, let me make some calls.
And then they bring out the gun, and it immediately sticks to his leg.
I mean, I guess if you could like do some weird like wiener tricks if you had a magnetic wiener.
Yeah.
And a theremin? Just imagine what kind of a grotesque sex show you could put on with a magnetic Prince Albert and a theremin.
I was thinking that, like, the pickup line at every wedding he ever went to is he'd get near the table and the fork would stick to his pants and he'd be like, I believe this is yours. My name is Bull. And I'm going to ride
if you Bull. Right place, right time. You know, Andy Warhol would give you a corner office at the factory for something like that.
Sure. All right, so Terry's chased to the edge of a cliff, and he's like, okay, cool, your guys are coming at me. He jumps off, and down there he's got a jet ski that he gets on and is able to ride away to safety. I guess all the way back to where the fuck are they?
I don't know. It's completely unclear, and so jet skis have a really limited range. Like,
right.
If you're getting away on them, you're not going to be able to go very far, so he has to be close to something if that's his getaway plan.
Home?
Also, at this point, we have Thunder in Paradise happening soon, and there's other movies that he's just always with so just Hulk Hogan just fucking love jet skis. I mean, granted, if you have a bunch of money, because the jet ski is like the worst investment a person can make. They are pretty fun, I guess. So maybe Hulk Hogan just loves jet skis.
Trump bucks probably are worse, but because those aren't fun. But jet skis are fun. But here's my problem: when he jumps off the cliff at night, It's night. He's on a jet ski at night, driving away in the ocean. The next scene we get is his son playing Little League sports during the day, and it is clear that Terry has gone from the job to the baseball field because he is still in disguise. He has not stopped. He rode his jet ski to wherever he could dock it, where his Volvo's at, and drive straight to the baseball field because he's taking off his wig and his mustache as he's doing it to, hide his super spy identity from his son. So
yeah,
he's not within jet ski distance. I think he jet skied out to where fucking Ferris Bueller's dad works on a fucking battleship, and then they choppered him in the next, I don't know.
And then he gets into his Volvo because he has to maintain a good disguise.
Right. Boring guy.
Also, the cut here after the jet ski is to my favorite Hollywood blunder. Ah, yes. Age in specific sports. America's favorite pastime.
Yeah, right.
8-year-olds playing with 14-year-olds. What could go wrong?
Right.
No hurt feelings there.
And then once he gets there, it's like, oh yeah, and this is a dad tournament too.
It's bring your dad to work game.
It's a one-pitch game.
Yep.
There's only one pitch. He catches it. The game's over. We won. Let's go to pizza. He's like, I can't. We got to go back to the toy store. All I can do for you is win your one-pitch game where getting a guy out means you win.
What happens if you just get on base?
Then I believe they throw tomatoes at the Hulkster. And then they lose. And then MC Gainey gets his giant dong out and starts waving it around until he ends to join the registry. Because it's an in-specific age children's game.
Well, yeah, so he's supposed to be like, oh, my dad is such a dork. Oh, I don't want him to come out here and play baseball. He's going to totally blow it. Well, he fakes being bad, but still manages to catch it. Say, son, pretty good job, right? Yeah, Dad, you won the one-pitch game for us. Let's go get pizza. He's like, no, I gotta drop. I've got to visit my toy store where James goddamn Hong works.
Yeah. We have to mention, though, because the first time I saw this, because yes, this showed up on video shelves in 1996, and at that point, my mother lived across the street from a Blockbuster Video, and when this one showed up on that shelf, me and my brother grabbed it and we rented it. And we watched it twice.
Awesome.
It was surprisingly good for a 16-year-old and a 12-year-old. It was dumb, but we were like, this is still a lot of fun, because the driving scenes were good and all that, right? It had enough. I was, at this time as a 16-year-old, impressed by Hogan's embracing his own self by... This is one of the first times he shaves that goddamn mustache off.
Yeah.
Because he peels off the mustache and you're like,
right.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
He's going without the stash. And
he doesn't look bad without it either. Like, usually you peel a mustache off a guy that you only see wearing a mustache and you're like, whoa, weird. But he looks okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's great. It's great.
So, yeah, he's a bit of a goob to hide himself, but he drives to the toy store to drop the laser gun, or to call headquarters, Ferris Bueller's dad. I don't know why he can't just call normally, but that's where his, what do you call that? His cover?
Secure
his
line?
cover-op. Yeah, his cover-op is this toy store that James Hong works at. So, and James Hong is in on it too. He's part of this group called Shadow. They're all part of Shadow, not like the CIA. They're even darker than that. Yeah. So, okay, that's it. So that's the movie.
There's a point where Jeremy Chase is his son is like, he was supposed to take me to the pizza. And he was supposed to do this. And James Hong's like, oh yeah, it's very bad stuff. And he's just like jamming comic books in. Just jamming the comic books into Jeremy until he quits bitching because he's like, apparently today's number was 6.
My mom's dead.
He's like, have you had the new Green Lantern? Like, oh, I don't have that. Oh.
And then he's like, you're the only thing that he's got left. And it's like the kid just kind of looks at him like, no, he's got this toy store. This kid is a fucking peckerhead.
He's a little bit of a dick.
Yeah, I don't like this kid.
Okay.
I'm starting to think that
You don't like kids?
I don't like kids. Like, I've always disliked babies, right? Like they're just gross and whatever, right?
Just
like
too
if I have
easy
to
to
hold one,
break.
They're very easy to break.
yeah, and they're always spitting up and shitting on themselves, and so you're like, okay, great, and but if you only have to hold them for like a little bit of time, they're okay. Yeah, they're like a little lap dog or something, and then you get them back, right?
Yeah.
With a broken neck, usually.
Yeah.
Oops.
But now,
here's your baby back. Sorry.
I have to do just...
No take-backs. No refunds.
I have to do the personal father shame, is that I'm pretty good dad. When my daughter was an infant, I was totally fine holding her, letting her sleep on me. The second she crapped, I was just like, somebody else take this. I think I changed 3 fucking diapers. I was such a shithead about changing diapers. I can admit
not
that.
great.
It was not a
not
diaper
great.
changer.
Yeah. Pulling diarrhea out of a child's vagina is not great.
Yeah, I just don't
not
like
great.
it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm glad we skipped that part. Like, I'm not even gonna lie.
I've changed one in my life, and I was done. Nope. Sorry.
And it stinks. It stinks so fucking bad. But anyway.
It is worse.
But, like, I'm starting to think now that I don't like kids in general because I find myself
wanting to
watching this
choke our
movie-
child? Oh, that's just
No.
me.
Our kid is awesome, and his little friends are really fun, right? And I like all of those kids, and I like Sam's kid. But, like, this particular set of kids, I was just kind of rooting for one of them to get shot. I'm not going to lie.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah. Not grounded
Like,
and can't play anymore and therefore not be in this movie anymore. You wanted the child to die.
A sprained ankle takes him out of this game, and you're like,
I mean,
kill him!
No,
Kill them
chop it
all!
off. Their head's got to come
Use
off.
fire! Fuck it!
Put it on a pike and set it in front of my house. No kids allowed.
I was kind of hoping when they went to the safe house would catch on fire and they would all die.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Can we edit that out? Oh my god, I just sound like such a fucking psycho.
You're going to jail.
Yep.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $100.
As
Or
bad as
maybe
I
it's
did
just-
at changing diapers when my daughter was in, there's a million pictures of her, me holding, and she's just, I was very heavy, so I could actually make a bed for her on my fat belly.
Yeah,
It's fun.
That's
nice.
always a plus.
That's cute. There's a million pictures of Jackie chucking babies into fires. So
Oh my god.
she hates these kids.
Maybe for me, it's just like children actors in
Yeah,
general.
they're
because it
usually
seems
annoying,
like-
honey. We get it.
We
Let's
get
move
it,
on. Okay, so
Okay.
Hogan's told to lay low. His cover's been slightly exposed, and that there's operatives on their way to find him. So Jeremy comes in, busts into the room, and he's like, "Wow, cool laser gun, Dad. Let me play with it." No, that's just a toy. Oh, okay, cool.
And then he goes, "Don't touch it."
Right.
Yeah.
But you can look at it. And then the kid immediately snatches it out of the case, which is another reason that kid should have died in a fire.
You're grounded.
Also, lock the door and tell James Wan, if you got to feed him 15 comics, feed him 15 comics.
Right. Keep the kid busy. All right. So they go outside. There's out of service cops driving around, and Hulk gets these guys aren't real cops sense. And so he gets in the Volvo and he's like, "Hold on to your ass, kid. I'm about to let this thing fly." And things proceed that are very surprising for a Hulk Hogan children's movie in its level of awesomeness.
And before we move on, I hope to God that wasn't really a thing with the out of service deal. Like, crime can happen. I'm off. Just gonna have my coffee and chili dogs. Whatever. I'm not working. I'm not on the clock. Sorry, Justice. I got the night off.
Right. But the company
also
car.
like I also like that the kid is obviously sitting on some phone books or something because he's the same height as Hulk Hogan.
Right.
No, he's the same height as Hulk Hogan because they had to tear the seat out of the Volvo to fit him in the fucking thing. It's like the Shaq commercial when they had to cut the hole in the Corvette's convertible top because he doesn't fit in the goddamn thing.
Well, they go on a chase, and at one point he slams on the brakes. The cops are side by side from him. He does the speeder thing from Return of the Jedi, and they shoot. The one of the cops shoots the other cop, and that cop crashes, flips his goddamn car for like 300 feet.
That's a $1 million turnover in 1996.
It's a big stunt. I was like, wow, huh?
And all of the stunt drivers that are in this, I'm like, so they got 3 pros. I'm like, I'm tacking another $1 million onto the driving sequence. But then after he activates the Volvos, he tells his son to activate all of the Volvo's secret functions as a spy car. Mm-hmm. They blow up a car, which Tierra also told me, if you blow a car up, that's about $1 million too. So this is a $3 million sequence.
Yeah, he's got a little, like a middle of the car tailpipe missile launcher that blows up the car.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid's like, holy shit, good thing I didn't push that button.
Yeah.
And then the cops behind him, what do we got? And we're like, 3 turtle shells.
But they're all green. Damn it.
Yep.
Suck at aiming these things.
I can't aim these ones.
Oh, it bounced off the wall and took us out.
Yep. Green turtle shells.
Okay, so what the fuck? He's also hidden the gun in like a secret compartment inside the Volvo. So
this was dubious to me until later, because I was like, oh, you stashed it in the cubby. Neat. But I guess it is a super secret compartment activated by the one button in the glove box that sort of activates multifunctionality.
I think it only does that, but whatever. We're going to move on. So Rex pulls up into the street and they have a stare down. He's like, kid, get out of here. No, Dad, I won't leave you. Kid, do what I say. And so Rex gets in his car and punches it. Hogan tries to do a J-turn, but it takes too long and gets pushed into another car and crashes the Volvo. And he gets pulled out and he's punched it. Rex and him are fighting. And then the cops come and grab him and they take him away.
Was that like a 53 Continental that he was driving?
I don't know. It's a villain's car.
It's a, like, don't crash this car.
Well, yeah, don't do that, but...
Yeah, like it had a hand grenade as the hood ornament. It was a cool car.
Yeah, was cool. Very good car for Rex. So Rex goes after Jeremy, who climbs up a ladder to a roof and then uses a big inflatable teddy bear to bounce off of it and dies. Jackie celebrates.
Dies.
Yeah, he didn't
was like, yay, it broke my fall. And then he shot back up into the air 15 feet and landed on his head. Got hit by a bus.
Right. Pancake in the street. But he's okay. And he knocks down the ladder and Rex is stuck and he gets away. So kid goes to his house. There's fake cops there, and he sees he can't go in because it's dangerous. His dad's not there. He doesn't know where his dad is. He checks the car on the way there. His dad's not there. So he goes to his secret club, which his secret club is a bunch of kids who hang out in an underground bomb shelter, which is cool.
Okay, and it's a shitty bomb shelter.
Hey, man, it's still a great place for kids to hang out at.
Oh, it's a great fort, but it would not be a good bomb shelter.
No, you're making it like a week before you're eating your family.
It's just got a hatch. You're dead immediately.
Before we moved out here, I would have thought, what the fuck? Nobody has a bomb shelter. But our neighbors have one, and our kid goes in there and plays. And I'm like...
If your neighborhood
neighbors' kids have one.
If your neighborhood was built in the 50s or 60s, 20% of the houses have a bomb shelter.
It was not. It was built in the 80s. That's how long the Cold War lasted. They put a bomb shelter in the mid-80s.
I know, but that's a much lower percentage, say.
Yep. But there's one. There's one right down the street.
That's great.
Jackie,
I mean, I kind of wish that our house had one so
I'd love it.
that we could, like make it into like a summertime. Because imagine how like nice and cool that would be in the summer. It's underground.
Mm-hmm. It's also a great place to store all the dead hookers. You know,
My
Keeps
joke
them
is
got to
just that
get
you'd
rid of
hang
that
out
one
there
from last night.
so much that it would just get musty ball smell.
oh, there's musty ball smell, but that's from all the dead hookers that I'm having sex with. They stay nice and cool, Sam. It preserves them for longer. Hello, science.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we still got to get rid of that one from last night.
Yeah. Why? though?
I mean, we can't leave it in the guest room. It's getting hot up here.
Yeah.
Some say rigor mortis. I say rigor more sexy.
Yeah. I'm not done with her yet, Jackie. Not done with
It's
her.
gross.
All right.
You know what? You guys get on me for having sex with the dead, or talking about having
They're
sex with the dead
hookers,
bodies.
Sam. That's their job. It's different when it's a hooker. Jesus Christ. You fucking...
Not like you that goes out to the graveyard and digs up fresh grandmas.
Yeah, you're so woke.
What?
You're so woke. You're telling me I can't have... I mean, just, they're dead. They're hookers. It's their job. You know, sex workers need paid too. And then you just take it back from them because it's not like they can spend it, right? It's a good deal. But Jackie, let's talk about bomb shelters just a little bit more. If we did ever have to stay in a bomb shelter and we ran out of food, we're both okay with eating the kid first, right? Before the dogs?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Just
Yeah.
want to make sure we're on, we have to talk these things out because I think you're not going to taste as good.
What a compliment.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you
I'm
have to
covered in
communicate
fat.
when you're married, Sam.
Yeah, I'm covered in fat. Nobody wants that.
We have
it's not
to
even
have
going to make good bacon.
We have to have a plan, Sam. We eat the kid first. That's the plan. Now we don't have to worry about that later. Got it covered. You don't want to save these talks up for the last minute and not know what you're doing. And then you have to draw straws and all this. So no, that never works out. Never works out. Plan early.
Yeah, because I'm going to cut the straws. I'm going to color code them. And then I'm going to be like, I know your favorite color is gold. Here you go.
No, one of us is going to pull the shortest straw and then we're both going to look at each other and be like, no, we're eating the kid.
We can't live without each other. We're just too big of assholes. And it'll just be too hard to find somebody else.
Well, no, there's worth that we can do. He can't make repairs to the bunker or suit up in one of those post-apocalyptic suits and go kill some zombies. He's worthless.
No, he's tiny people are good at fitting into tight spaces and fixing all the shit you can't reach. He can get his arms in tiny spaces. He's good for thieving. You guys know nothing about child rearing.
Well, we haven't been at it that long.
Okay. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
That is a good
gotta really
Jackie,
think about Star Lord's youth.
Jackie, do you mind dropping out for a little bit? I just need to talk to Sam in private.
No, I'm not going to do that. But I do think we should maybe wrangle in a few cats that we keep on hand for Chinese food in the bunker.
No, you just invite the neighbors that you don't like over into the front room, and then you leave them in the vacuum. That way there's no poison in the human meat. I want to get on from this. I don't want to go to darker places.
All right. So the kids, they hatch a plan. They gotta try to find Dad. So they head back to Hong's Toys, the toy store, and Rex is there. Rex has decided to also look at that place, and he fights James Hong. James Hong holds in there for a little bit, fighting Jaws.
He does a pretty good job with his old man karate.
But eventually he succumbs to injuries by getting an entire display rack of toys dumped on him.
Yeah. I think that this actually James may have got my biggest laugh in the movie.
Yeah.
When he was doing his finger karate, where he's like, I'm over here, but look at my finger. And then he was opposite dodging with his finger, and he's old, and Richard Mole can't figure it out. It's actually a great deception tactic if your adversary is a guy with a heavy leg who's a moron.
So the kids show up, and then in comes Hong's grandson, too. He's like, I'm looking for my grandpa, and they find him. Oh, no! He's been crushed by toys.
So they've been running around this toy store filling up their backpacks.
No, that's later.
And
That's later.
nobody-
That's much later.
That's much later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll get to
But
that.
anyway, like, okay, so this is the part where I thought maybe this movie was made around the same time as, like, Indiana Jones and The Goonies, because they have their token kid now.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
The Asian kid.
The Asian kid that knows karate, that, you know, they always have, like, some kind of special skill that they're bringing into the mix, right? And I was like, oh, okay, the token kid is here. And I thought, what's he going to bring to the team? Right? Because in Goonies, he was a tech kid, right? And he had stuff. And then
super good at math, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Totally not racist.
Probably not.
I just was like, man, was this made around the same time as these, like, other, like, iconic movies? And so they were like, well, we got to have an Asian kid in there.
Was this made around the same time as the Rodney King beating? Yes.
Oh, God.
What does that have to do with an Asian kid?
I'm just saying it's super racist in LA still.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Now and then and the whole time. But whatever, right? Let's be happy. The computer expert's a black kid. That's cool.
Sure.
That was out of character for Hollywood at that point. Yeah, the Japanese kid knows karate. James one isn't Japanese, so they're probably not related. I thought the best part about this was that they were like, all right, James Wan's like, okay, I'm going to be fine. See you kids later. I got to go do another movie. I'm out.
Yeah, right.
And it's just like right over there. And then after that, I got like 3 more that I got to go do. So have a good adventure, children.
Not in this movie anymore. Okay, so they got Hogan. He's tied up. They're giving him VR torture interrogation.
Yeah.
They're using his child against him to say, where's the gun, over and over again on loop for 30 minutes, which would drive me fucking crazy.
No, where is it? Because this is my note, is that the first of many Duke Nukem moments.
Where is it?
Where is it?
So Rex calls in his failure to get the gun,
wait,
and
before we move on,
we can't keep not moving on. We're an hour into this. I'm only on my second page. This better be good.
So I don't know why they thought that the tactic with the VR headset with the kid that was whining would work. Because
it would drive me insane.
As a parent, you're just like, and now, after the 3rd time you've asked me, I am zoning the fuck out.
Zoned the fuck out.
You don't even, you're like, yeah, whatever. I mean, I'm not even fucking listening to you anymore. At this point, he's just basically taking a nap on their table.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Rex calls his failure in, and which is a reoccurring thing. He has to say sorry every now and then. And she's like, bummer, I'm sending Skeletti in. Whatever.
Yeah.
He's my
She's like,
bigger pro.
By the way, did you search his car?
Ooh.
Nope.
I will go do that now. The kids are also going to go do that now. So they break into the police impound, and they find the car and the gun. They pull it out, and then Rex pulls up. And so the kids, they start the car, which
this is the point of the movie where the Volvo has magically become an automatic, and it was a stick when Hogan was driving it.
And so Rex tries to get in there, but they back up really fast and shake him off, and then they hop this fence and they get away. Yay! They're chased down an alleyway, and the computer kid, he's like, "Give me the gun. I know what to do with it." So he does a pretty rad BMX jump onto a wall, and
that was
Rex
like Ryan
tries
Nyquist shit right there.
Right? Yeah, little Dave Mira.
Dave Mira, that's the guy I couldn't remember when I wrote that down.
Nice, I got your back, buddy.
You got me.
High five across America. Brosif.
Brocephus, king of the bro. Wait, no, that's Poseidon, king of the Broshan.
have you guys been watching Mer People
No.
Yeah, of course
on
we have.
Netflix?
Okay.
Because you guys are talking like a couple of Mer People.
Bro talk? The Mer people on Netflix talk like bros?
Yeah, like that was a fantastic job.
Oh, so they're punny.
Yeah, like you guys are doing with
Those-
the
we're not-
Brosidon.
We're not making puns.
That-
We're broing out, Jackie.
That's
Brosidon
thing.
is king of the Broshin, Jackie.
Yeah, don't you
Do
know
you
shit?
know
That's
nothing?
not a joke. That's not
yeah, and the Mer People said that during one of their episodes.
No, that's because it's true.
Yeah, they would know. They're Mer people. Okay, so he gets away, wrecks his car pretty bad. And then Barry Bostwick, the fucking Akira slides in a goddamn minivan. He's like, "Hey kids, it's me, Barry Bostwick," and they're like, "Oh my god, Barry Bostwick!" No, they don't. They run away because he is Barry Bostwick in a creepy child thief van.
Wait,
Yeah, this is a kidnap van all the way.
And it's driven by Barry Bostwick, Jackie.
by Barry Bostwick of Megaforce package fame and the Rocky Horror Picture Show. He's on the registry for those two movies.
Nothing is more frightening to children than Barry Bostwick in a van.
Wait, he was in Rocky Horror?
Yes.
What the fuck?
He's
Are you
the
fucking
guy.
kidding me?
He's not Tim Curry.
He's like the principal, him and Susan Sarandon.
Yeah, that's Barry Bostwick. That's where he's...
That was the same guy? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Maybe Hulk Hogan's disguise in this movie was better than I thought.
I'm just kidding, Barry Bostwick. This podcast loves you, and you're awesome.
Yeah, the Buzzcast loves you. Even Spin City was good.
Mm-hmm. Spin City's a great show.
I fucking love Barry Bostwick. I just can't not love Barry
And
Bostwick.
he's pretty awesome in this movie. He's a lot of
And
fun.
He's
even in this
fucking
movie,
magical. He's a special fucking mythical beast as we're about to come. Because he's going to do bullshit magic tricks.
He says that he's this guy named Max, who is a pal of Hogan's. And don't worry, kids, I know what's going on. He takes him to a safe house. And he's like, there's a quarter behind your ear. And they're like, oh, I've seen this bullshit. Oh, he's going to pull out I can disconnect my thumb thing. He's like, not only is it a quarter, but it's a full pony. Here you go. And the little girl's like, I've always wanted a pony. And then he goes, flicks his fingers and sparks come out of it. And the pony fucking grows wings and she flies off. This guy is magic. Got some good suck it, David Copperfield shit going on.
Oh, yeah. It's like, eat shit, David Copperfield.
Yeah, he shows them some magic, and they're like, well, I love magic. You're my favorite person ever because we're children. He's like, yeah, so your dad and we work for this group called Shadow. He lied to protect you and blah, 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 whatever. So where's that gun?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, it's with the kid that's good at hacking, whose name we don't know because we didn't write that down in our notes.
His name is Sly.
Sly. Okay. He's with Sly, and he's taking it to. We're gonna meet up in an hour at our secret club headquarters. It's a bomb shelter. It doesn't smell good, but it's good for It's good for what you're interested in, Barry Bostwick. He's like, man. So, is how many dead hookers are we talking?
I was going to say, because he's like, all right, I'm going to set the security alarm on the safe house, and I'm going to leave for a long time to go get hookers.
Yeah. It's going to be a little bit, kids. You just sit here. PB and J's are, you know how to make them. Go get them done. There's some Capri Sun in the fridge.
I also like, earlier in a sequence, Eve is like, never mind, Richard Mole. I'm calling Barry Bostwick. He's better at this sort of thing.
Spoiler! You just ruined the whole
No,
double
she
cross.
says that in the movie.
She doesn't say I'm calling Barry Bostwick.
Oh,
she says
she's
I'm calling Scaletti.
She's calling someone, so he's better at this.
And
We're like,
he
how
says-
could he be better at this sort of thing? And you're like, because he's funky fresh and he uses magic?
Yeah.
Because he's dressed like a fucking Venice
he's
Beach
the cool
hippie.
guy. He's the cool guy. When you have a sub come in when you're a kid, like, oh God, fucking Mr. Boring Anderson over here, but he's gone for tomorrow. Maybe our sub is gonna be Barry Bostwick because that guy's cool. He's gonna like tell us jokes and we're gonna have fun at school for once. He's the cool sub. Hey, kids, my name's Mr. Bostwick, but you all can call me Barry, because Mr. Bostwick was my dad. And they're like, oh my God, you're so cool.
You're so cool.
Here's some joints.
Second cool sub is the lady that wears
joints?
the V-necks and her boobs always come out.
Yeah. She doesn't give you joints, though, apparently. Jackie's...
That's actually not good at all.
Jackie had subs that gave her joints.
That's not good.
Joints, children.
Hey, kids.
I had a math teacher that would smoke chalk.
What?
Okay.
I had a math teacher that would smoke chalk.
No, I heard you.
He was a heavy cigarette smoker, so between classes he would always run out to the side of the building and smoke. But like during class, he'd be writing equations on the board, and then he would smoke his chalk.
Just
Like
to
would
have
inhale on
the
his
oral
chalk.
fixation of it.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Huh.
He wasn't like, hey, kids, you want to learn geometry? Let's do a J.
Here's your joint.
I'm pretty sure he was already high when I got to class, if I'm quite honest.
If he didn't offer you a J, it's probably a lot better than he was like, hey, kids, you know, like the Pythagorean shit? I'll teach you all about it. Let's do a J.
Little bump and a J. All right. So, anyways, Hogan back at base. He wakes up and he punches the doctor out, and he punches some other security guards, and he's ready to get out of there. And he calls Jeremy because he gave Jeremy a phone earlier, and he's like, "Hey, tell Max, my buddy, that Sam ruined isn't my buddy earlier. That." I'm cool and to take care of you or something. I can't even remember what the message is. But then he trips like a trip wire wall panel.
Booby trap.
Yeah, it's a booby trap.
Booby trap.
That a cage drops down and cages him, so he doesn't get to escape.
It's so heavy that a 6'8", 312-pound man could never get out from underneath it.
Yep.
He's also talking on his watch, so this is the first smartwatch, you know?
Oh, yeah, because you've never seen Dick Tracy. Uh-huh. They were doing that shit in the 30s, Jackie. Batman had a smartwatch. Come on,
This is a Rolex
I'm just
with
saying.
a calculator on it. This is a stupid watch.
I'm just saying, like, why did it take us so long to get there?
Okay. So the evil lady picks up his smartwatch and she's like, "Oh, you must be his son. Oh, how's Little League? I'm gonna kill your dad in 2 hours." And he's like, "Oh no, she's gonna drill a hole in his head. We gotta stop her. We've got 2 hours to give her the gun, or Dad's gonna get some cavities filled with drill bits."
The guy, and this is Eraserhead, by the way.
This movie's Eraserhead? I thought we were watching... That was called Secret Agent Club.
Jack Nance is Eraserhead. That's where he started, right?
Yeah.
He's doing his Jack Nance normal, like,
Mm-hmm.
business. And he's like, well, it'll work better if I drill into his brain. And she never says how, but her eyes are always like, how would that fucking work better? If you lobotomized this man and made his brain into mush, how would your VR work better? Unclear. But I know I should try.
The Pythagorean theorem from earlier in the podcast. That's how. It's math, lady. You don't know.
Yeah,
You
Jack
wouldn't understand.
Nance is just doing J's and listening to ELO.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. I'm smoking chalk over here. Once you become enlightened, you will also understand. Okay, so back at the safe house, this gunman busts in. That's when we get the karate, and he gets beat up, and they tie him up, and they're like, "Let's get out of here." Well, wait, I thought you guys were waiting for who you think is your friend to come back, but they just are like, "Let's go to the safe house." So they do, or the clubhouse. And there they promptly hack into the government secret database, like within minutes.
Al Gore built this bomb shelter.
Oh boy.
With his proprietary invented interwebs built in.
Yeah, that hooks up to... I mean, we got to talk. Who's president in 96? Was it Johnson? It was Johnson, right? Was it Gary Johnson? President in 96, but either way. Lee Branson, that's right. Johnson was his VP. The security is not great. Not great. Kids probably 10, 11. Russians are still trying to fuck with us. Boris Yeltsin's over there being like, hey, all that Gorby shit we said earlier. We got a guy coming who's way worse. He works in intelligence right now. Yes, he is just a data analyst, but he can't get into the government system, but a fucking 11-year-old can?
But hey, Sly says, sorry, Matt, this is really hard to break into government systems. And then Matt goes, I'm sorry. Like, he's really like, oh, shoot, I'm so sorry that this is like a trouble for you and my dad's about to die, but you can actually do it. And Al Gore sucks at inventing the internet, but apparently Al Gore sucks at inventing the internet. So fucking do your job, shithead.
He does. He's like, oh, look, your dad, he is a spy. And he's got all these accolades and a secret name because you were calling him Steve earlier, but no, that's not his real name, which I'm not sure what your real name is either. And then Max, Barry Bostwick, he shows up walking while they go to search for his name. Like, let's check him out too. And he shows up on the camera and they're like, let's run and hug him because we love him. And he's like, hey, kids, I got some ice cream in this van. Go ahead and get in. Can you actually help me put this couch in the back of it? Mm. And they do. And inside is Rex. They've been double-crossed because he's Skeletti.
And I'm burning a question right now. Why would you not just continue the illusion at this point if you're Bostwick?
Yeah, right.
They're going to take him right to it. And he's like, oh, no, you kid, the jig is up, kids. I'm a bad guy. Ha, 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 ha. And they're like, oh, cool. Now we can swindle you as children do in these sort of movies. Whereas before we would have happily taken you right to your prize.
Yeah, not good work. Which, I mean, they still do. I mean, they still sort of do. They lead him to this old building, and inside is the gun. But it's held by some sort of gang.
Street gang, because,
Sly's
Sly's black.
Right.
So he's obviously got connections to gangs. Yep. And that's when it becomes racist for him. Because they had tried to be like, oh, yeah, this kid of any ethnicity could be good at computers, but he happens to be black, so his cousin's in a gang.
Yeah, he's slinging. Yeah. He's slinging
that's
juice. Yep. Okay. All right. Skeletti's like, oh, no big deal. I've dealt with gangs before. Jazz hands. Flash paper. Does anybody have
prestidigitation, motherfuckers?
Now turn around. Turn around.
Yeah.
He does magic. And they're like, whoa.
Magic.
He grabs Jeremy and the gun. He's holding the gun to Jeremy's head. And then Jeremy, like, how does Jeremy gets free?
He elbows him in the groin. And then Bostwick decides to shoot a mirror, thereby shooting himself for the very first of this movie's Eat Shit Ben Kingsley's. Because he has a very, no, I'm dead.
No, I've sprung a leak. Yep. Here and here and here. Because the laser breaks into multiple things, or I don't know how he gets so many holes in it.
The gang had a really nice vanity, so they could look good when they're doing gang stuff. It was a tri-mirror vanity, and he shoots it, and it breaks the lasers into multiples, and then comes right back at him and puts like 6 holes in him. And then he like wanders into the light of the window and goes, oh, there's light shining through me. Oh, well, I guess I'm dead. Eat shit, Ben Kingsley.
Yeah, he doesn't blow up.
He doesn't blow up, but I guess it was because the lasers were broken into mini lasers.
Yeah, and it just punched holes through you. Okay.
Yeah. And didn't shoot anybody behind him, which was all the children.
Couldn't he have lived, though, because the laser would have cauterized itself?
Mm-hmm.
Not if it went through internal organs.
No, you can live through that. You just got a hole in it now. You just got, it's like when you get rust in your truck still runs, right?
So then he could do better magic tricks where he like put stuff through his body and he's like, oh, look at this. I just pulled 10 parrots out of my chest.
Do the endless scarf thing out of his tummy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that's a quarter behind your ear. No, that's actually my ear.
Mm-hmm.
Came off.
Guess how many anal beads I can pull out of my left chest. As many as I can find.
Yeah, great at birthday parties. Great at birthday parties.
He's a little better than Shakes the Clown. I'll give him that.
He's just slightly better than Pennywise, actually, Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Not good. Okay, so the kids get the gun and they leave, and Rex just gets beat up by gang members, I guess. I don't know. And they hatch a plan to go save Dad. They got 2 hours. So they go to the toy store, and now they stock up Jackie commando style.
Right.
Lock and load.
And they've left a message for the Japanese kid.
Mm-hmm.
Doi toshimashite. They're a sane asylum.
How does he never knows where this place is?
Do they know about the insane asylum? Headquarters
because Hulk Hogan tells the kid when he calls on his smartwatch.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I remember that, but there is no way that Shigeo knows where to go for the fort to check the email. He's never been there.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he's never been to the fort. He's like, I don't know where you live, kid. I've never been there. Okay. Anyways, so they stock up like commando. They're like,
also, this song is terrible.
Oh, the music in this thing is just wall to wall.
They're in the mission.
Awesome. Yep. I love it. I loved all the music in this movie. Just bad. And way not time frame accurate. Like, this music is dated as shit.
They're in the mission is 10 years too late.
Yeah, I mean, you got the touch.
It's worse.
You got power.
That's one of my questions for later. Is they're in the mission worse than you got the touch? We'll decide that later.
Nothing is better than the touch, Sam. You're crazy. So they they're like, all right, hand me those tiddlywinks and the pickup sticks, and I will take all the gack that we can handle.
Yeah.
Smell my crack gack.
Smell my crack gack.
Give me the bop it. I'm going to take somebody out with bop it.
Should we pack up Rock'em Sock'em robots? What are we going to do with Rock'em Sock'em robots? No, don't leave the Rock'em. How about Twister?
Tiddlywinks. Do we have use for tiddlywinks?
Of course we got tiddlywinks uses. Jacks, marbles, anything small that you can throw at your opponents. We're children, for God's sakes. We got to, use our kid stuff to do this.
Well, Nerf was really behind this because Nerf had several products.
Yeah. So they sneak up to the secret lab. So being a guard's pretty boring. Nothing really happens, but I think I saw some kids earlier. They sneaking around. I don't know. Were they playing? Should we shoot them? I don't know. Maybe they're just playing. Kids play. Like, not good guarding. These kids are walking through your... Okay. And so how are they going to get past the electrical fence that Hogan used his gloves on before? They've got shovels.
They've got beach sand tools.
Yeah. Okay.
It would take 47 hours to dig that hole with beach
which
sand
immediately
tools.
broke.
Yeah.
Which immediately broke.
All of them, just the plastic snapped. All right, well, I guess your dad's dead. Let's go home. It's getting late. Mom's going to want me home for dinner pretty soon, Billy.
Do you think that we could borrow a badger from your dad's badger cannon?
Dad,
He could really...
The 9 volts on our headsets died before we got here.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember, Jackie, but the badger cannon was only sold to villains. Hulk Hogan doesn't have one because it was a dumb weapon that he didn't care about. But no, I don't have badger cannon. If you paid attention to the plot of this movie, you would know that.
He just has one well-trained dachshund hound.
Yeah, right. Not going to help with the fence, the dachshunds, sadly.
No.
They immediately are going to get electrocuted and smell
Actually,
terrible.
the dachshund's going to dig underneath the fence faster than they can with the beach tools.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, so they're running out of time to save Dad. They got to go fast, and we're running out of time on this podcast. Shadow G-Men, they crack the Doitoshi Meste code, and so now they know where the kids are, so they start scrambling boats and choppers, special spy planes that never get seen again in the rest of the movie.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
Even if they know the guy that owns all this shit, it's expensive.
So the kids get inside the base with the help of Teddy Ruxpin.
Yes, and we should remember, because I'm going to broken record right now, for many episodes of the podcast, that if Teddy Ruxpin does possess all 7 crystals of Grundor, that he would be more powerful than Thanos.
Okay.
Also, if you listen to Led Zeppelin with a worn-out battery's Teddy Ruxpin, it's almost like seeing Satan.
Oh, boy.
His eyes don't work right, and he's just like, speaking in tongues.
Are Thanos and Teddy Ruxpin the same
Undecided.
Because I bet you Thanos read story times to Gamora. Like Jack of the Beanstalk. Bet you Thanos is a big Jack of the Beanstalk guy.
I think they're the same guy.
Yeah, I think they're the same guy. They're both purple. No, they're not. Teddy Ruxpin, Thanos. You decide, fans. Email us your comments.
Why did they make bears with shirts and no pants?
Care Bears didn't have pants. Well, Winnie the Pooh didn't have pants.
Care Bears
So
didn't have
Teddy
any clothes.
Ruxpin's just like a Thanos ripoff of
Pooh Bear?
Winnie the Pooh. That sucks, man.
That sucks, man. Okay, so time's up. They're going to drill into Dad's head. And the kids, they get in there, they bust in, and they've got a gun, and they're like, all right, drop it. Rex, you're 10 times my size, and you could easily take this gun away from me. But Rex drops the gun, and they free Hulk Hogan. And Hulk Hogan's like, give that gun to me. And he points it at Rex, and he's like, time to die, Rostov. And he shoots him in the face with water because it's a squirt gun because they're kids who robbed a toy store.
Because why not make light of children being shot in LA by guns that look like real guns?
Yeah, right. Okay, so Eve, she gets the drop on him. She's got a gun. She holds him up. And then Jeremy turns on his walkie-talkie headset like we're wearing. And the girl who stayed behind to set up some escape plans, she shows up and she nerfs the doctor in the face and breaks the whole thing up. The lady's like, Eve is like, I gotta get out of here. And then Hogan tussles with Rex, and Jeremy throws a slinky at high voltage and then hits him in the leg and draws current through Rex's body, 38,000 volts, and his flesh melts away as the kids look on in horror.
That's not actually what happens. What happens is much more funny. He makes Donald Duck sounds and gives the second eat shit Ben Kingsley, but not quite.
Because he's not dead. Because Jeremy can't actually fry a man's insides and have this movie be PG.
Yeah.
The alarms sound. The kids are chased, but they use the toys to escape. They got some marbles action going on and some Home Alone-y type stuff happening here and there. And then they start killing people.
Yeah.
Then the carnage
he's
carnage
like,
begins.
Hey, kids, have you ever seen a human barbecue? You're about to. I love the smell of burning human flesh. Don't you, kids?
Yep. Oh my God. Yeah, Dad takes the laser gun and at first I'm like, Dad kills a couple guys. Whoa. No, Dad kills 10 guys. Dad kills about 20 guys.
This is like a mirror of the end base storming in Commando with Schwaz.
Yeah. I mean, they're not taking direct laser shots to the face, but he's blowing everything up. Legs are coming off. I saw that same guy from Saving Private Ryan walking around with his guts, like, oh shit, where's the rest of my guts?
No, you didn't, because he had been barbecued in fire.
Yeah, it's carnage.
Carne asada.
And the kids are
human
like, yay!
variety.
Yay! Just employees of some corporation dying in front of us. Yay! You're the coolest guy ever, Mr. Chase. Better believe it, kids. Don't piss me off.
Smell? Success. Smells like burning human bodies. Yep, that's what success smells like.
Same thing, kids. You'll learn that when you get older. Okay, so they go back in the building to go downstairs and leave. Eve then grabs Jeremy. She's got a knife to his throat. And Hogan locks the gun. Like, he hits some buttons on the side of the gun.
He turns it to the self-destruct mechanism.
Yeah, because he knows how to do that, and she doesn't know how to turn it off. And he's like, here's your gun. Give me my kid. And so they run away. The choppers and the cops, they're inbound. And some of the guards are flee. So they got a pretty easy... I don't know why they're like... They got a free get out of this place card. Yeah. But they're still like, we got to run. Well, no, the cops, you're good. You're safe. You can just walk out of here. But earlier, the girl set up a slip and slide to skate out of there under the fence in a hurry. The first kid takes this is going to be awesome. Oh, no, there's not enough water. It just goes straight into the electric fence. He fries. His guts and shit come out. And now the slip and slide is super lubed up, but everybody else's momentum, they're horrified at their friend whose guts and shit just came out of him, but they can't stop because they're on a slip and slide. So they all just slide into him, piling bodies up on top until Hogan slides into it and just gets decapitated by the top of the fence.
No, he actually just goes through their exploding bodies. Because his momentum is so great that the electricity can't stop him. He's
like
just
a
a
fucking
big guy.
X-wing.
Yeah, just phew.
Okay, all right. So they get all under the fence, and General Bueller's standing there, and he's like, "Where's the gun?" And he's like, "Oh, the evil lady has it for like another 30 seconds or so." But she gets trapped in her own cage. She can't get out. And Rex walks up and he's like, you know what? I quit. Whatever. I'm leaving. She's like, you can't quit this job. You're fired.
He's like, do you have something to say to me? And she's like, I'm sorry. And it won't happen again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is what he always makes him say to her. And so then he's like, well, fuck you, bitch. And he turns around and walks away.
But that's not far enough.
No, she's like, yeah, this fusion device is about to explode. You just have to turn it off. And he's like, I'm going to run because I have a heavy leg.
Yeah.
I'll make it.
Which, better choice.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
He dies. The whole building explodes, the whole thing. And his metal leg bounces in front of the children. And they're like, yay.
More human barbecue! High fives!
Oh my god! And while that's all happening, shaking down, and they stand over the burning wreckage of this building with all the bodies littered all over the place. Jeremy and the girl hold hands, and so now he's found love over to the delight of watching humans die and burn. He's like, does it make you hard? Because it makes me hard.
Oh, boy.
Later, the kids are rewarded with medals from the president.
They get the Star of, they get the same honor that Charlie Wilson got.
Yeah. And Chewbacca.
And
Wait.
Chewbacca.
No, Chewbacca didn't get a medal. It's the only one that didn't.
Why?
Why didn't Chewbacca? It's too big. Can't
It's too small.
fit over his head. I don't know. Why didn't Chewbacca
Gets
get a medal?
stuck in his hair.
Hashtag. It's time to fix that. Chewbacca.
They did.
Oh, that's right. They did. It sucked. It's time to unfix that. Okay. And Max, the real Max, he changes their secret club sign to secret agent club sign, implying that they are not done having secret agent adventures.
Well, now that they've got a taste of life, you know, you kill a man, you can never go back.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads to my first question. These kids are all dying like in a week, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to go do something else and not be foiled by ineptitude. Guys with just guns are going to shoot these children with lots of bullets.
Except for Shigeo, who was able to beat up the government's number 2 man with his karate. He's just going to see all of his friends die and then become John Wick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is how I see it shaken down. They're bored. It's Friday night. They're like, time for some vigilante justice.
Let's go help your dad with spy stuff.
And they go downtown. They wander into an alley where some guy is beating on a hooker.
Okay.
And they try to defend her, and he turns around and knives every one of them.
I don't know. I don't see it shaking out that way. These kids think that they're better than that. They take down... They're not going to get more accolades from the president, Jackie, if they just go take down some guy who's beating up a lady in an alley. They got to take down, like, they're going after the Sheik probably next.
So they're teaming up with the kid from Iron Eagle?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's going to go poorly.
It's going to go poorly. They're all going to die. You can't reward these kids for what they... my God. All right. Sam, question?
How is this a children's movie?
Would we let... Because up until things happen at the base, I was like, oh yeah, Isaiah would love this movie. He would love it, and I would be fine with it. It's corny and stupid, and but then it endorses children killing people at the end. And I was like, maybe not. maybe I shouldn't let my son watch this.
Maybe not.
Whee! His guts exploded like popcorn. Whee! That man's holding his foot. Whee!
Whee! The girl's like, does anyone have tortillas?
Oh, man. The only way this would be better is with cotton candy. Nope. Okay. No. Jax, question?
Nope.
Okay. All right, final recommendations. I'll go first. Yeah, it's a do for me. I was surprised by this. I was expecting to hate this movie because this formula is like, until now, 99.99999% of the time going to be a don't. The kids helping the adults do action stuff always sucks. Except for this time. How? I can't even explain how it works, but somehow it fucking works. And I really had a lot of fun with this movie.
Because it's a cocaine-fueled disaster.
Yeah. I mean, I guess The Last Boy Scout is fun. Or not The Last Boy Scout. The fucking Last Action Hero is fun. Fuck Last Boy Scout. That's the only other time I can think of. But like the Mr. Nanny bullshit, I just don't like. I hate
the pacifier with Vin Diesel is a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, you always say that, and I don't know. I don't like that formula, but this time I liked it. It was cool.
I don't know what the official term is called, but I call it the babysitter script, and it sucks.
Yeah. And also, Hogan at this time was really not great. Like, but this is like the last of somewhat action-y Hogan.
Yeah.
He was doing stuff rather than just making cute faces at the camera and being like, I don't know. Wow, what a weird position I've been put into. And I'll learn a valuable lesson later. No, this is just a crazy action movie with kids involved.
Yeah.
Sam?
I think this is the 4th or 5th time I've seen it, so it's obviously a do because I've watched it 4 or 5 times. I watched it when it first came out. It surprises at every turn, so it is a definite do.
It also doesn't have any of the like wah, wah jokes. Like Santa with Muscles is filled with like really groan-inducing jokes, and this didn't. This didn't have. I can't think of one that I was like, ugh.
Well, there is one. It's the wah, wah when Bostwick dies, but it's fucking Bostwick after he's been a magician, and he makes a Bostwick face, and you're like,
it's so
you've
ridiculous.
Elevated the wah wah with your Bostwick business.
It was so ridiculous that I liked it. All right, Jackie, your movie. What you got?
I'm going to give it a do. I actually thought that it was going to stink on ice and that you guys were going to hate my ass for picking it, but because of my scientific way of picking movies.
Like Three Ninjas. Jackie picked Three Ninjas or whatever. Three Ninjas Strike Back or whatever the hell that was, and it was a piece of shit, and I hated it. This is not that.
But it was entertaining, and I had a really good time, and I wasn't bored, which I thought I was going to be, and it didn't have any great one-liners in it, like Dookie from that one that we did where...
Yeah, we're all familiar with Dookie. It's No Holds Barred.
Yeah. But it kept me entertained, and I liked it.
Cool.
It seems at this point that the Hogan movies live here.
Yeah, we're getting through them.
Well, I mean, we're always giving due to them. They're so shitty.
I think we should go back with Santa and Muscles. With Santa with Muscles. I'm not sure if we all did on that one, but
I don't know if we did or not. Which is produced by the same team as this one.
Right.
It's like when we hear Roddy Piper, the ex post facto argument he had with McMahon, where McMahon's like, "We'll make movies for you," and he's like, "I don't want to be in the shit you're making for Terry." Mm-hmm. The shit that they were making for Terry is comedy gold when it wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'm always down. I'm always down for watching another Hogan movie. Speaking of which, I watched this YouTube video about Cynthia Rothrock's catalog. There's a lot of shit that we haven't even touched as far as her, so I'm going to get back to her. But next week on the podcast, as I already disclaimed, I'm going to follow up Sam's Fred Olin Ray dinosaur movie with my Fred Olin Ray dinosaur movie called Dinosaur Island. That's our next movie. Hope you guys have a great week. Get to the chopper.